And welcome back. There are 100,000 miles of blood vessels in your brain. That's a lot of mental highway to maintain. Another little known fact, keeping your brain healthy is the key to fighting fat, stress, and deadly diseases. And joining us for our Health Watch to show us how this all works is Dr. Daniel Amen. He is the author of the best-selling book, Change Your Brain, Change Your Body, and he joins us right now. Doc, good to see you. How are you? Do people look at you like, not that you're crazy, but what do you actually mean when you say the brain affects exactly how the body feels?
Well, you know, it's your brain that pushes you away from the table, telling you that you've had enough, or it's your brain that gives you permission to have that second bowl of ice cream, makes you look and feel like a blob.
Yeah.
When you have a healthy brain, and I brought some brain SPECT scans. These are the scans we do in our clinics, and if you look at a healthy brain versus one that's had toxic exposure, what you see, that toxic exposure brain, it doesn't work right.
Yeah, so when you say toxic exposure, what kind of exposure are we talking about?
So this is someone who worked in a furniture factory. So he was always exposed to organic solvents in finishing the furniture. And as it damaged his brain, it damaged his willpower.
Got it. So with something like that, with a brain that has chemical exposure, can things be reversed? Can they all of a sudden have a healthy brain one day?
Well, you know, that's the exciting news that we have found is when we put people on a brain rehabilitation program, whether they've had brain injuries or strokes or toxic exposure, it can get much better. Okay,
let's talk about diets, because there, like you mentioned, there are overeaters, there are compulsive eaters, there are impulsive eaters. Let's take a look here at a brain scan of a compulsive eater before and after. And just tell me exactly what we are looking at here.
So what we're looking at on the left is a healthy scan. Most of the activity is in the back part of the brain.
Got it.
In our compulsive overeaters, and that's one of the most important things in the new book. I talk about 5 different types of overeaters. When we see a compulsive overeater, the front part of the brain works too hard. So if we look over at the image on the right, compare that to an impulsive overeater where, if we look at the next slide, what we see is the front part of the brain works way too little. So one person can't stop thinking about food. The other one has no control over their impulses.
Okay, now to go to a healthy brain post-treatment, what are some of the things people can do, and what would the healthy brain then look like post-treatment?
Well, that's the most exciting news, is you can change your brain, and when you do, you change your body. So certain supplements, but it depends on the type of brain you have. So compulsive needs a completely different plan than impulsive. In fact, if you put the impulsive person on the wrong diet, you make them mean.
But how does one change their brain? That's, I guess, the question that I have.
Well, lots of things. So there's a brain healthy program, things like fish oil, vitamin D, exercise, certain forms of meditation can dramatically boost blood flow to the brain. And to get control of your cravings, which I talk about in the book, you have to keep your blood sugar stable, because when blood sugar drops in the brain, no control.
What about a brain scan? We have a brain scan for meditation, because the meditation, and you're saying, about 12 minutes a day can reduce stress, and that in turn can give you a healthier brain scan.
Right. We just published a study in a medical journal and found that a 12-minute meditation actually dramatically boosted blood flow to the front part of your brain, which improves impulse control. And then you say no to the donuts rather than you just give in.
Final look right there. So there's resting, there is a meditation, and
right, and when you change your brain, you change your body.
Got it. Doctor, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Very interesting stuff. Thanks so much.